Okay. And then, yeah, so where the neshama was having Aliyah. So I just want to talk about quickly idea about my grandmother, because this is kind of what like inspired me to push and make the same a bit early, was for her Yarseit and was tonight. Something she really loved to do was just glass. The last like chunk of her life, that was like all she spent her time doing, was like hanging out with her family, like throwing stuff out of glass was like really cool. And just like two ideas about like that made me like connect to this kind of like me learning Daf Yomi when everyone in yeshiva was telling me not for me, because not what you should do in yeshiva. But thank you to Kivari for telling me that is what you should do in yeshiva. So me learning Daf Yomi is very similar to her doing glass, I think, because we work with glass. She would probably on a daily basis cut herself, send herself to the hospital, get stitches. Every day we would tell her stop, and she didn't. And then me learning Menachos the Shema in the sense of like, right, I'm learning this, I have no way to connect to this. Something I often said when you ask me how I understand it, which is no, it's fine. It's good. We're good. And then so people would ask me like, why am I doing this? I can't connect it. And so like it made me think about it like my grandma, like her glass is nothing for anybody to do anything with. Never really got used. It was just like on display. It's just because she liked doing it. It's this, and I like learning Menachos. It was interesting. It made me learn something I've never touched on before. Yeah, just a quick idea from Menachos, which I thought was really cool. Menachos Dalit, it shares a story of explaining the super careful with like smaller mitzvahs, and it talks about tzitzis. Basically, it tells a story of this guy who's super rich, but also super mocking about tzitzis. He would always wear tzitzis. And he worked with prostitutes that lived very far away and very rich, very expensive to get to her. The Gemara, to explain how rich she was, explained she had 7 beds, 6 were made out of silver and they were piled on top of each other, and then the 7th was gold. So he did whatever he could to get to her. She got undressed. She goes to the top bed because this guy's paying a lot of money. And he climbs up behind her. And as he's climbing up, the tzitzis whacks him in the face. And he kind of takes that as like a sign from Shrine. And he goes, climbs down, sits on the floor. He just sits there. She's like, what's happening? She goes and sits next to him. And she's like, she supposedly tied his hands up and said, I won't let you go until you tell me what's wrong with me. Supposedly she's great, she's beautiful, everything. And she didn't know what was wrong. She wanted to know what problem he saw in her that made him not want to sleep with her. And he basically said that the tzitzis set him in the face. The strings are going to be the aid him when he gets to Shemaim, to say that he stopped himself from doing the Savera. And basically, she saw this like, mamash, like Yad of Hashem, just like whack him in the face and say like, don't do the Savera. And she made a shvua that she's basically going to follow him back and figure this out. So she makes him give him his name, where he lives, which yeshiva he was from, the Rosh Yeshiva, all that stuff. And he leaves, goes home, and she sells all her stuff. She gives a third to the government, the empire, whatever, so that they let her out, a third to some poor people, and she takes a third to help her survive. She goes, chases after this guy, and says, finds his rabbi and says, I wanna convert. She's all the Yad Hashem, she wants to convert. And he says, no, if this is why you're doing it, like you can't convert. And she gives the rabbi this note with explaining all this guy's details and explaining the whole story. Rabbi goes, okay, like if that's the reason you want to convert, you can convert. And what was the reason that this rabbi saw? It's that he saw that the woman was converting now because she like saw a guy she liked and she wanted to marry him. She was converting because she saw the Yad Vashem. I just thought that was a really cool story. And the Gemara continues to say that like this is the great reward Tzitzis brings. And I kind of looked at that and I was like, what reward is that? The Gemara explains, or I think really Stefanski explained actually, that the reward is saving him from the sin. It's like such like a small sin, right? He's gonna sleep with this prostitute once, he's gonna go back, he's gonna keep learning yeshiva. It seems like a small sin, but like this one small sin, like it meant a lot. And Tzitzis, both he got the mitzvah from Tzitzis and he didn't get the avera that he's gonna do. Yeah. Also, one more idea from my grandma, which Gali Pinsky helped me think of before without realizing it. when he said people like me are the reason people don't draft. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? Like, I didn't think I was that bad. And I realized I'll think about it tomorrow. Like, who's the reason I like have such a push to draft? It's really my grandma. When she died, right after Pesach, I was supposed to go to Israel the next week for my first time. It was the hardest decision I had to make was going to my grandma's funeral, going to Israel. My dad kind of like didn't give me the choice and said, "You're going to Israel." So I went to Israel, and Mamash, I fell in love. So here I am. So, Gavi, don't blame me. Yeah. Just finish off the Gemara. The Mishnah, the Kuf Yud, is talking about how it's just really an incredible idea. Like, it's talking about what you do doesn't matter how big or how small it is. What matters is that you do it. You do it with your heart. You do it with passion. You do it with kavanah. Doesn't matter if you bring korban behema, which is like the best you can bring, a cow, a bull, whatever. Doesn't bring if you bring a korban oaf, bring a chicken, which is like lower level, or bring menachos, which is for people who don't have any money. They bring menachos. They bring flour, water. It's bread. It's like as little as it gets. And so the Mishnah is talking about in the last few lines of the Gemara, it says, Kidva mine Shmuel Rav Huna. Shmuel asked for Rav Huna, Minay l'mitaseg b'kedusha b'kachim shehu pasol. Where do we know that if you bring a korban accidentally, it's pasol? Shnamar b'shachis ben bakar. If you slaughter this cow, shetei shchita l'shem ben bakar. And from this pasuk we learn that the shchita has to be l'shem ben bakar. It has to be with the proper kavanah. Amar lo zubiyadenuhu. But this is how we know that you have to do them with like your own hands. Somebody can't do it for you. Where do we know that it's not akev? Where do we know that if you don't do it lishma, if you don't have the right kavanah, it won't count? And it says Tamul Omar l'ritzoncham tizavchu from the pasuk of from this pasuk l'ritzoncham with your own will you should tizavchu you should do it. The dasam zavchu with your knowledge with your right kavanah you have to do it. Just like explains the nice idea that like it doesn't matter whether you're doing a lot or a little, you're doing the best you can as long as you have the right kavanah while doing it. ודאי לא נתנשי מנח מסכת מנחות ולא תתנשי מניין לא בעלמא דין ולא בעלמא דעה חדש לך מסכת מנחות ודאי תחלן די תחלן מסכת מנחות ודאי תחלן לא נתנשי מנח מסכת מנחות ולא תתנשי מניין לא בעלמא דין ולא בעלמא דעה חדש לך מסכת מנחות ודאי תחלן די תחלן מסכת מנחות ודאי תחלן לא נתנשי מנח מסכת מנחות ולא תתנשי מניין לא בעלמא דין ולא בעלמא דעה יורצו מפנח ענה אלוהינו ואבותינו שתהי תורתך Nutenu, Mazerte, Imanu Lama Ba, Hanina Bar Papa, Rami Bar Papa, Nakam Bar Papa, Achai Bar Papa, Awa Mari Bar Papa, Ravam Bar Papa, Rachish Bar Papa, Surcha Bar Papa, Ada Bar Papa, Dara Bar Papa. Harib now, I win about the rate to tackle Pipino Field, I'm called Betty Sel, Kolanu, Anaknu, so anyway, so I'm called Betty Sel, Kolanu, Shemaka, Day to tackle, my bait, maybe to tackle, Kilo, Hili, Bait, Hamim, Kukaka, one, Loy Bush. לעולם לא אשכח לכבודך כי במחיתני ברוך אתה עלי לומדני חוקך אמן 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 צלבד. מודים אנחנו לפניך ענה אלוהינו ואבותינו ששמת חלקינו ביושבי בית המקדש לא שמת חלקינו ביושבי קרנס. שם משכימים והם משכימים. אנו משכימים לדברי תורה והם משכימים לדברי בטלים. אנו לומדים והם לומדים מקבלים שכר הם לומדים ואינם מקבלים שכר. אנו רצים והם רצים, אנו רצים חי לעולם הבא, והם רצים לדבר שחס. ואתה אלוהים תורידם לדבר שחס, אנשי דמים ומרמה לא יקטו ימיהם, ואני אבטח בה. יוצא מפנך עני אלוהי כשם שעזרתני לסיים מסכת מנחות, כי תעזרני להתחיל מסכתות וספרים, קדושים, אחרים וסיימים, ללמוד, לשמור, לעשות כל דברי תלמוד תדח ברבה. זכות כל התנאים והאמוראים לתלמידי חכמים ויעמוד לי זרי שלא תמו שהתורה מפי זרי וזר זרי עד עולם ותתקיים בי בתהלכך תנחה עליך ושבחך תשמור עליך והקיצות את שיחך כי וירבו עמך ויוסיפו לך שנות החיים אורך בימינה בשמאלה אשר בכל עוז עמו ייתן עיני יברך שמו בשלום L'chavetel l'chayam l'telasaka yadon l'chayloma Almalim u'mivnei kartad Yerushalayim v'l'shach l'layla b'gaval l'machar L'chana nuchra minara L'atava palchana dishmaya l'ajavim l'chusha b'richu v'machudei v'karei v'chayachim v'chanu kanachom v'tzisa v'ganas makrivim Rameh Yes, my young boy, I buff me, spot me, bar, which one say, that Bosch make shabby for the love of the shirt out, which was having my dad, I'm loving from me. I saw her when I'm not there, my coat of late, someday, and the commander scheme right at the didn't even go at a red Yellow on the gun, show my river, rubber, in the roughing, the kind of reason, to the race, I forgot to get on. You should have been from me. Yes, I'm sure I found I saw him from me. Jose, Shalom Rav, yes, I should have I saw him from me.
Mazel tov. Shimon tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, Shimon tov. You? Mazel tov.
I just spotted him on. He must have gone over.
You know,
Not like it's very far.
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Yishai.
The chasana with Hashem. Oh, Yishai, Yehuda. It's cooking class.
All right. You guys know when Uncle Ari was in the Gulf War at Yeshiva Hotel, Ema, didn't try to get you home. Ema would be so proud of Yishai like being there now. When you think about the fact that in 1967, Bubby was one of the first 50,000 Americans to come to Israel and see the Kotel.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Bubby came to Israel for the first time right after the 6-Day War. She was one of the first Americans to see Yerushalayim.
Well, it's good she had some time off from school.
Listen,
it's good she got some time off from school.
She went in and she remembered the Jordanians standing over the old city. They brought them to an overlook where they could look at the old city, but they couldn't get any closer. I remember her telling me. Right. And then she went, and then unbelievable, and then she went back afterwards.
No?
Yeah.
Donna, it was Brother Tayelet, wasn't it?
But she was definitely one of the first when she went back.
Brother Tayelet?
Yeah. Yeah. No, she loves
Menachos and now Zvachim is basically cooking class. It really is. And people didn't used to learn it ever until Chafetz Chaim. It's kachim. It's all the how to do the real detailed intricacies of how to do the korbanot. And the Chafetz Chaim said who is our direct lineage, he said, we out Mashiach now, and he's going to come, and nobody's going to know how to do the korbanos. And he was a Kohen, so he wrote Sfarim, and he instituted learning this stuff, learning how to do it. And one of the korbanos, when you do the bird, you pop the head off, and you got to do a throw about 100 yards across the courtyard. And another Kohen has to catch it without getting a drop of blood on his white garment, and has to know Lishma what the Avera is for the Chatas, what the sin was. The logistics are insane, but learning this stuff is great. It's really an amazing thing, and nobody it's not what they call the yeshiva Masechta,
I sat with, I don't know if anyone knows, Ellie, are you still there, Ellie?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
I sat with Yishai yesterday. He took a train to literally just to see me.
Uh-huh.
From Yerushalayim to Herzliya, and we walked to the beach for like 45 minutes. We went to lunch, and then I took him back to the train because I had to teach. And what is sweet, I like, of course, like I don't want to like say like I didn't know him, but it was so nice like being reintroduced to like him.
Listen, here's
He's a
what I'm gonna tell.
Hamoud. He's
Listen,
so cute. Oh my
Isn't your nickname
goodness.
Bad Baby?
listen, shut up. Here's what I'll tell all of you, and I gotta go back to work. I got 3 patients waiting. And like
Tell them to shut
nobody
up their tush.
nobody knew Yishai because Mayor and Noam were such superstars that Yishai
Yeah.
was like overshadowed. And,
Hamoud.
You remember you just
and what I'm telling
had
you,
to padlock the fridge.
shut up. What I'm telling you is that with now that Mayor and Noam are off and Yishai's like wings are unfolded, he is in absolute rock star, immense.
Rockstar.
He's going to become a Talmud Chacham. He is going. I've never seen him happier. He is running his show. Yishai's name is going to be Googled more than Mayor Noam's in 10, 20 years. I promise you.
Smoosh.
You guys, you guys don't even realize he
Smoosh
has found
you.
he has found his own, and he is so happy, and he is so content, and he has become he's just an amazing man.
Yeah.
Every
Good
every
guy.
ounce of Yishai is like perfection. He is honestly
Mm.
he's an amazing human being. He with his I see it with looking out for his friends, looking out for his school, looking for everything. Like he just I don't know if he's going to end up in education or Rabbanut or army or whatever, but I'm telling you, he has. We didn't see it because Mayor Noam were such bright lights that Yishai got a little ignored. But with Mayor Noam, flying high, Yishai has developed into like it's unbelievable, unbelievable.
Amazing.
I totally.
And
Amazing. He said he's like, why did I wear a black hat when I first moved here? Because I didn't know who I was. I
exactly,
love that. That's such a good line.
no,
Like
he's so
I wore a black
intelligent.
hat, so I didn't know
You
who I
know,
was.
Mayor and Noam were so academically smart that you thought, oh, Yishai not as smart. No, Yishai is just as brilliant. He's just as smart. And he's got an open, honest mind, and he's listening and he's learning, and he's going to be a rock star. I'm telling you. Mark my
Yeah.
words. It's amazing. I did. We canceled the trip. I was going to come for Baina's money. I was going to come 2 weeks before Pesach. I had everything set up, and then we couldn't come because of the war. But I'm going to get there.
What war?
Hopefully,
You was.
yeah. I'm gonna come like Sukkot or I'm gonna
Bezrat
come in the
Hashem.
fall. I can't wait to see him. But no, he's doing so good.
Mechakim lecha.
Awesome. All right, love you guys. I gotta go.
Bye, Uncle Zeke.
Love you.
The program there is so different now too. It's like it's tiny, and the guy who runs it, he's also a superstar. I'm blanking on his name.
Who runs what?
Runs the American program at Hakotel.
Oh, I don't remember. He interviewed Nadav. He
Yeah,
came.
he I think he's married to Rabbi Gortz's daughter, who was the rabbi at original Brookline. They have a lot of videos, not just of him, but also they do. There he is. What's his name? Also, they do like a Muna thing every year, and like all the big rebellion come and do like sending hours of sessions. Let's see, you have like Nebenthal, you have Rabbi Kerrigan, Ruben Kerrigan, and there's Reuven and Benji. But it's a tiny program, and like you said, like only a couple, one or two kids got in from Florida. And he had big supporters, like the head of the Kollel, Rabbi Parnes. I remember he told me, he's like, you tell Yishai he has my permission to skateboard here on Shabbos, and we pulled out all the guns to make sure he got in, because that's where he wanted to go. Because it doesn't matter if he's not right for for that. They would have done it anyway. Ari Heller.
Donna, it's so nice to see you. I love all of you guys.
I
Goodbye.
know. I was going to say, it's so nice to see everyone's faces.
It's so nice to see everybody.
I love you.
Love you too.
Before anybody go, I mean, here's the thing. The original idea was also that, we don't see, especially the Chicagoans very often. So there wasn't a lot of notice, and obviously this is a difficult time of day. So what do people think about, maybe in a couple of weeks doing a Sunday, and then we'd have advance notice and be able to, get some Schwartzes, get a Greens. People I think like to do it. Just people, and also it's an hour earlier there.
I'll be there.
Do a family.
Sounds good. I'll be there.
Do people have a preference, like this Sunday, next Sunday, or any of that?
This Sunday works for me.
They say that Hawkeiser is on staff there. I wonder if he's Michael's son from Detroit. And they list Henoch Teller as one of the Rebbeim.
Yeah.
And Rabbi Milstein is listed as one of the Rebbeim. That's the Rebbe of Sarah and Shana and Ayala.
Yeah.
This Sunday or in 2 Sundays works best for me.
Right. And how many Sundays ahead are we going to Barn?
Are we from what?
We're going to the barn in 6 Sundays. We're going horseback riding.
I think in 2 weeks, so people have notice.
Yeah.
Okay, so meaning what's the date? Just so I know.
Like the
That works for
20.
me. 27 or 26.
Got it.
Oh, so basically a birthday party.
Yeah, or the 3rd.
You guys will make the cake.
All right, everybody.
The New York
All right.
Company.
Bye, Latov. Likulam. Ohevet. Bye.
Love you.
I have to get moving too. Hi, everyone.
Bye, Shauna.
Bye, Shauna.
Go.
Bye, Abba. Bye, Eliana. Bye, Louie.
Go have 100% milk fat ice cream in Buddy's honor. That's how she knew she didn't have diabetes.
Is that butter?
No, because she went to Jackson's all the time, and that's how she knew. We got to go. We got stuff to do.
Okay, love you.
We'll be recording also.
Bye.